I suck with computers, and if you're like me, you're in luck. This is a tutorial on how to get Melee, aka Slippi, to work on your computer or PC. This is going to be the easy way without skipping any steps and doesn't assume anything about your current knowledge on computers. By the end of this video, you're going to learn about the minimum requirements, how to find the Melee ISO, aka the game file, how to get your controller working, and the full process without skipping any steps as we install it together. Let's start with the computer. Luckily, Melee is actually pretty optimized to play on older or less powerful hardware. You probably don't even need a graphics card as long as your computer isn't like over 8 years old. Wait a minute, this computer is over 8 years old and does not even have a graphics card, but we'll figure that out. If you're curious about specific and minimum requirements, it's mainly about the quality of the CPU. I'll leave a bunch of recommendations on the screen and you can pause it if you'd like. And if you think your computer is still not good enough to run it, I would consider trying this anyway. There's a mod called Diet Melee that lets even lower performance computers run Melee when they otherwise wouldn't be able to. I made a video about that last year, so check out the link in the description for more info on that. This is a tutorial for Windows 10 or 11. For Mac and Linux users, I actually made videos on this, so check out that video in the description below. You'll need to get the ISO file or the game file that basically has Melee on it. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you some tips of how to get it. Controllers. If you have a GameCube controller and adapter, that's great. We'll go over setting that up together. And if you have a USB controller instead, don't fret, I'll show you how to get that working too. So we're starting with a completely fresh installation of Windows with literally nothing else on the computer. We'll go to slippi.gg and click on the download for Windows option. Once that's done, we'll click on the completed download and we'll just click next on the installer until we get to this part. We want to make sure to click also install GameCube adapter drivers. Right before it finishes the installation, you'll get this pop-up. We click yes to allow the app to make changes. Once it's done with the installation, we'll click finish. Slippi will open to the screen. Let's go ahead and make an account. The details really don't matter here, though I do recommend you actually use an email you can log into and click sign up. I don't even own this email, but that's okay because we can click skip setup on the top right of the corner for now. It will say online activation is required, but as I'm filming this, that's actually a lie. We're not going to do any of that. I'm going to drag my Melee ISO file from a USB onto my documents folder. I'll talk more about finding this ISO game later in the video. We want to click on the top right gear icon and then click select and then click on open your ISO. If you put it in the my documents folder like me, then you can find the folder on the sidebar as well. Next, we'll click play and I'll ask us to choose a connect code. We'll click confirm and we should be good to go. For some reason I got an error, but it actually worked, so we'll click play and we actually get a new error. This one says to look at the help section in the settings, so we'll take a look at that. Apparently I'm missing some basic Windows file, but after clicking on the link, opening the download and clicking install, we should be good to go. Going back to the launcher, we click play and ta-da, the game launched. However, there's a super important step here that's easy to miss. If you close out of the game or Alt-Tab, you'll see that a pop-up showed up. You want to allow Slippi Dolphin to connect to all networks. Don't miss this step, otherwise you won't be able to play with other people. Once we've done this, we can switch back to the game and we can check out the unranked mode. And there we go, we're playing Melee against a real person. My capture card isn't getting 60 FPS for some reason, but as you can tell from my in-game movement, and the FPS counter in the top left, I am actually getting 60 frames per second on a really old computer with no graphics card. For those who have a USB controller, like an Xbox or PlayStation, what you want to do is click on the gear on the top right of the launcher, click on NetPlay on the side, click controllers, select your controller in the drop-down menu on the top, and go through and click each of the buttons and then press the corresponding button on your actual controller. And here's a little bit of footage proving that I am playing on a USB controller and that I am getting 60 frames per second on this old computer without a graphics card. Okay, the ISO file. This is like the golden key to make this all work, yet annoyingly, no other YouTube videos actually link to the file itself. The reason why is it's a little bit in the gray area legally and they're not trying to get into any trouble. YouTube won't let me link to the download of the file. However, here are 2 tips that can help you find the ISO or game file. Websites that have ROM files. These get taken down and come up again, but Google's your friend, and I promise you if you try hard enough, you will find a website with ROMs and emulators. You're gonna wanna find one with GameCube emulators, and you wanna find Super Smash Bros. Melee. The download size should be exactly 1.46 gigabytes. If you downloaded something else, and it's not 1.46 gigabytes, you didn't download Melee. You probably downloaded the adult film that's also named Smash Bros. Keep looking. Ask a friend. Anyone who plays Smash Online already has this game file. If you're nice and not weird about it, they might help you and share a private link to it. This is honestly the easiest and probably fastest way to get it if you already know someone who plays Smash Bros. Online. And no, I'm not your friend for this one, but keep searching and I'm sure you'll find it. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing if you want to keep seeing me make videos.